What is going on, guys? This is Gene Jensen. It is time for another Friday Night Live. Where'd you come from? What's going on, guys? I got Jordan with me trying to drink my water.
Shut up.
So anyway, what's going on? Jordan's actually going to help me tonight. I don't know how he's going to help me, but he's going to help me. So we got some cool things planned. We'll get to that here in just a second. Let me see who's on and see who's been on. You guys have been on for a while. Hey, Alex, how you doing? Casey Watson, what's up, man? Oh, guess what tomorrow is? What's tomorrow, Jordan?
Dove season, baby.
Opening day of dove season. That is like a family tradition in my house.
It's my favorite day of the year.
Yep, we're going to have a party. And we're going to shoot some birds, and then Dad gets to cut them up and fry them and make them taste good. So what's going on? What's up, Michael Filardo says, what's up, Jordan? How did you do in that competition you were in last month?
Where did I come in? It was like fourth, fifth. It's fourth. I came in fourth.
Yeah, he came in fourth.
And I'm going to come in first this month.
Who won? Who won last month?
You gotta stop bragging about that stuff.
All right, what's up? Michael Davis, how you doing, man? Michael Keenan, DM Outdoors. Am I gonna post my dove hunt? Probably not.
I will.
Jordan probably will.
So
we're gonna mount. Last time I mounted a GoPro to a shotgun, I shot 3 doves.
And yeah, with 3 shells.
I shot a triple.
And then yeah. I have a double on film somewhere.
Yep. All right. So for you guys who are joining me through my podcast, welcome. Thanks for listening. Thanks for joining us, you guys. This is awesome. We're going to do a couple of giveaways. First one I want to talk about is the monthly one that we do. It is Stuck on Fluke. Basically what you do, you go to my website, you buy a $5 sticker, Fluke Master sticker. You get it, stick it on whatever you want to stick it on, and take a picture of it and put it on Instagram. I'm trying to find the banner while I do that. Put it on Instagram and then use the hashtag StuckOnFluke and tag me. So once at the end of each month, I'm going to draw a winner. And at the end of next May, I'm going to draw a winner, and I'm going to put all the other winners into a hat, and we're going to draw them out. And whoever I pick, we're going to set up a trip. I'm going to go to your house, pick you up, and we're going to go fishing for a day or two. So it should be a lot of fun. So Stuck on Fluke, that's one. The next one, I guess we got enough people on to do that, to talk about it. The next one is 13 Fishing contacted me and wants me to do a giveaway here on Friday Night Live. And I'm giving away 7 different Jabberjaws. Okay, so this is the new 13 Fishing Jabberjaw, and I don't know if I can get it to focus. Let me see. There we go. Look at the bill. It's a metal bill, and when you reel it in, the bill rocks back and forth, and stuck inside this little part right there are some metal cheeks. And so there's no rattles in it, but when it goes, it sounds like that. If you guys can hear that. I don't know what microphone I'm using, either my computer or that one. But anyway, so it sounds like a chatterbait or a jackhammer chatterbait. So I've got 7 of them here. And so during this live event, Jordan is going to randomly pick 7 people from the comments. I'm not even going to try to get it to focus, but oh, that's not one. Hold on, maybe it's 6. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 6 comments, not 7. I had 7 crankbaits in my box, and this is not a Jabberjaw. So, but anyway, 6 comments, and the way we're gonna do this is kind of difficult, but I think this is the best way. He's gonna write down the names. We're gonna announce them at the end, and whoever wins, get with me either on Facebook or Instagram and send me your address. I send it to 13. They send you a brand new in the box. you can't have any of mine. They're hard to find right now. Like I said, I've got 6 of them in this box, in this Plano box, and you can't have mine, but you're going to get one. So how cool is that? All right. Heck, somebody already donated $5. How about it, man? Jeremy Bowersock. Where's your comment so I can bring it up here? Thanks, man. He says, hey, Fluke Master, why are my buzzbaits running sideways? Is it the braided line? All my buzzbaits are doing this. Thoughts? If they're just kind of running to the side, that's normal. A single-bladed buzzbait, because of the torque and the direction that the blade is turning, it's going to run to one side. Turning on its side means that there's something either wrong with the blade or it's not aligned right. And I've got a video that shows how to tune a buzzbait. It's basically my everything about a buzzbait video. There's 2 of them. It's a 2-series video, so it should be pretty good. So anyway, check that out. But I'm not sure. I'd have to see it, but it's not your braided line. I don't fish braided line with a buzzbait because a buzzbait tumbles a lot when you cast sometimes, and then it'll wrap into that braided line, and then you're just screwed. So, but anyway, so Jordan, you get to pick 6 random comments. That means as crazy as you guys comment, I'm gonna have a hard time finding and reading comments. But anyway, what else is new? I got a collab set up for the next couple of weeks. You guys will hear about that when it happens, but I'm pretty excited. I just got off the phone with him. So I get to go to Gunnersville and fish there for the rest of the month. I'm finished with my my Georgia KBF State Challenge. It goes. Shut up. Jay Damien's watching. I don't want him to know.
He didn't win, I promise, Damien.
But anyway, so I got to go to Gunnersville and pre-fish for the Spro Frog tournament, the kayak Spro Frog tournament, and the KBF National Championship. So I'm done fishing the challenge. I hope I've got enough to win. We will see. But shut up. I'm gonna kick him out in a minute. He's gonna have to do it on his phone. But anyway, so we're gonna have to. I've lost my train of thought. Never mind. So that's what happens when you get a teenager. Oh, how do I feel about the double fluke rig? I love it. Been fishing one for many, many years. Thank you for not calling it the donkey rig. I don't know where that came from, but it's been the double fluke rig since it was invented somewhere along the Savannah River 100 years ago. So, yeah, I don't know who made up the donkey rig. It has nothing to do with it. Anyway, I don't agree with that name at all. Hey, that's a good idea. Hookshot says about the buzzbait. Says tell him to remove the skirt on the buzzbait and throw on a creature bait. It's fire. I use a horny toad and I use a single tail grub, a Fat Albert grub, are my 2 favorites. I rarely ever have the skirt on it. Rarely. Matter of fact, the one I threw yesterday, it was a black one with a black horny toad on it. So. Kevin Moss says, I've got a question about, I assume that says jerk baits instead of jerbaits. Anyway, I got a question about jerk baits. When throwing on a water body, mainly feeding on bluegill, should I throw bluegill colors or stick to the main 3, clear, flashy, bright? Stick to the main 3. To be honest with you, because bluegill are flashy, they're kind of bright colored. It all depends on your water clarity and stuff like that. I don't throw jerk baits in muddy water. It has to be fairly clear. But I've never really seen a difference between throwing a minnow colored one and a bluegill colored one. It's a reaction bait. Woo. Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to weed through the comments. No, that's a good comment. Good question. Hogjaws Outdoors says, hey, Fluke, what conditions would be best for painted blades versus gold or silver blades on a spinnerbait? I only throw painted blades in really muddy water. It's when I'm tempted to do it. And it's that bright orange blade is what I throw in muddy water. It's just low light stuff, really. I'm thinking white painted blades I'd throw like in the when there's no sun in the shade and that kind of stuff, or when there's cloudy weather. But I've never really put that to the test. But that would be my thought. But muddy water, the only time I really throw painted blades is when it's mud soup. So Michael Moon talking about me and you,
Yeah.
the competitiveness. Oh yeah, I rag him hard. Jordan is so easy though, so easy. He gets so riled up, and I'm such a trash talker to the point where if you saw a video of me and Jordan going at each other, you would think that I was the meanest dad on the planet. We talk trash fierce. Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's bad.
Hey Gene, just saying hi for now. I'll come up with a question of you. Thanks, Joshua. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Tad Myers, thanks for the 25. He says, love the content, brother. When you first started yak fishing, how long did it take you to come up with a system for tackle or organization? Whew, I'm still coming up with it. I always feel like I have my stuff all over the place and it drives me nuts. One thing that I've learned is putting things away when you're done with them. I have a cup holder that holds like things that I want to dig through a little bit later, or maybe baits I want to reuse later on in the day. I have a little cup holder between my feet. Other than that, it goes back in the box. Everything has its place. My net has its place. My pliers do. My scale, my measuring board, everything has an exact place that I have figured out through the way I fish where it needs to go to stay out of the way when I'm not using it, but be there for me to get it and get it quickly. So that's the best thing, is don't just throw things around. I do have a pile of used plastics up in the front of the boat, but that's because I don't throw things in the water. So.
Everyone does. Don't do that.
Yeah, Tad, thanks for the question, man. I really understand that. But yeah, it's a work in progress. I'm always trying new things. So Kayla says I need to get my husband to put some stickers to put on his kayak. Yes, you do. Am I going to be at Rocky Mountain again? Maybe Monday. Jordan's trying to talk me into going fishing with him on Monday.
We have to go Monday. That's the only day I can fish.
Oh yeah, he's fishing the tournament. So yeah, probably Monday, maybe Tuesday if he gets done with his schoolwork early enough.
Yeah.
So yep, they got a flexible learning day on Tuesday. Snowboarding 21. Thanks for the $5, man. See, finally caught you live. Thanks for all the content. Lost my first FG knot. I think I nicked it when I was trimming. Any tips for confidence in the knot? Spend a lot of time practicing it at home is what I did. I mean, I spent 4 days learning it, or 3 days learning it, and I spent another 4 days practicing it once I learned it. And you learn all the little things to see that's wrong with it. If you goof up, you know it. You're confident enough in it to know when you got something wrong, and you just cut it off and retie it. But yeah, I've nicked the knot too, and that happens. I don't cut it as close. I do cut the braid or the fluorocarbon close, but the braid I don't really cut too close. So, and Jesse is right. The modified Albright Alberto, or it's called a modified Albright or an Alberto knot, same knot, is easier to tie. The problem is it doesn't last as long. It gets beat up in the guide. So you got to know after 600 casts or 500 casts that you need to cut it off and retie, which is fine. I used to do it all the time. But the FG knot, I can make it last for weeks and not have to retie it. So let's see. Damien, you need to post what you have. It's killing me. So because I have to, I stopped fishing the KBF Challenge tournament today, and it goes on till the 21st. I'm sandbagging. Yep. And Damien knows I'm sandbagging. He's in second place right now, and him and I fished together today. I watched him catch 2 good ones, and so yeah. I'm not going to post them. I don't want to give anybody any motivation as to what I have. So, Damien, I told you, I think I have like 95 inches, maybe 97. So, let's see. Black Bass Angler, how do you keep your bait fish alive the longest? I don't use live bait fish. Do I? Yeah, I do minnows when I'm crappie fishing. I just you put them. I have a little bucket with an aerator in it that I keep them in, and when we crappie fish in the wintertime, they don't last long. So Robert Stone says Fluke's on, my favorite time of the week. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. That's awesome. Do I know the release date of the new Motor Guide kayak motor? I do not, and probably at my own fault, I haven't been pressing them. I need to start sending some emails to my contacts over there and say, please tell me, because I really want to know when they're coming out. I have two, but they're both pre-productions. So, let's see. Trying to. Oh, you got a couple of people having a conversation. That's why I'm having trouble with it. Okay. Which is fine. I don't mind. I just have to weed through them. Ethan Tang, if I have dirty water, should I use JJ's Magic Chartreuse on my June Bug Cincos and my Black and Blue Rage Menace trailers? No, not really. Actually, the June Bug, the Chartreuse changes the tail and stuff. A pretty cool color, and I've done it and it's worked. Black and Blue, probably not. That's a good enough color to fish in muddy water. So, David Carlson, do you save your soft plastics? I don't throw them in the water. I usually throw them in the trash when I get home. So I don't save them. I just never have. So, let's see. Sorry. When would you use a big glide baits, 5.5 inch? The time now when I use good big glide baits is actually when I'm pre-fishing for tournaments. The cool thing about a big glide bait is a big bass will follow that son of a gun all the way back to the boat. You may not catch him, but you know he's there. And if I'm pre-fishing 2 or 3 days before the tournament, I'm throwing a big glide bait and I'm just looking for that big follower or those multiple big followers to give me an area where I know big fish are. So if I need a kicker, I can go get it. So, or at least go try to get it. Richard E, man, thanks for the $10. You guys that donate, you're awesome. I really appreciate it. It helps put shoes on their feet. No, I'm just kidding. But it really does help out. It helps me replace a lot of camera equipment, which is what I need to do here shortly. Yes. I got one that messed up yesterday. I can't plug it in anymore, so I have to make sure the batteries are charged, which sucks. Is it
your Sony?
Yeah, my Sony. I wore out the plug. It can work. I just have to duct tape it. Yeah. Good old duct tape and zip ties. What's up, Fluke? I'm going to buy a heavy rod from 13. What reel and rod do you recommend? A heavy rod. My favorite one is a 7'3" heavy. I had 2 of them on my kayak today.
Have those come out yet?
The Fate Blacks have, I think. Yeah, the new Fate Black heavy, but their 7'3" heavy is what I usually go for. Good reel is the new Concept A. It casts an absolute mile, which is never something I harp on because I don't think that's super important. But they built it to be a really, really rugged reel, and I've been beating a couple of them up this last 3 months. So. Goodness gracious, look at all the donations popping in. You guys are awesome. I'll get to those in just a second. Hey, Stefan, that's true. He says if you put hydrogen peroxide in with your bait fish, it keeps them alive longer. Just make sure you use the right ratio. Don't put too much. But it does. It helps with the oxygenation. So yeah, Brett Coleman, man, thanks for the $10, brother. I appreciate it. Doug Stubbs, thanks for the $5. He says, I will still love your show even after the dogs hammer my hogs on the 26th. Dude, right? Jordan, how excited are you about the SEC season this year?
That's the only thing I'm glad that Corona did. Okay, it's the all SEC season is going to be the greatest football season ever.
Jordan is my sports freak. Oh
At
man.
least every team will at least lose one game.
Yep. Yep. Fishing, Georgia. Just got my first kayak. How do I keep my stuff in when I flip?
Right now.
Tether it or lose it is basically what it is. Or get you a kayak that doesn't flip. A bona fide will flip if you try really hard. But like when I fell out of the bona fide last spring, I was reaching down. I dropped the radio in the water, and I was reaching down in as the radio was sinking, and I got this left shoulder over top of the gunnel, and I started to tip a little bit too far. So I threw myself in the water, and the boat just stayed upright, and I didn't lose anything. And then I got back in the boat, scared the snot out of everybody, and nobody had a camera on me. I was not happy about that. Oh goodness. War Eagle. All right, we got to get by all the college comments. I'm going backwards to read some comments that I've missed. What do I think about whopper ploppers? I have a hard time catching fish on them. I do catch fish on them, but it's not one of those things where that's the ticket. You know, that's the thing I'm definitely going to catch them on. I'd rather throw a buzzbait with a little Fat Albert grub on it. Kenyatta Bush, dude, that's a cool name. Watch the video of you and Brian Latimer this week. Great convo with two of my favorite anglers, dude. I love B-Lat. Well, when he first started social media, that's back when I thought I knew everything about social media marketing. I was like, dude, you're doing it right. I said, and I told him, I said, I don't want anybody I don't want you to listen to anybody that tells you that you need to change the way you're doing things. Just be you and do it right. And dude, it's been fun to watch his climb in social media and on YouTube. And then he starts winning tournaments and oh my gosh. Yeah, dude, I wish I still lived close to him because we'd fish all the time. We have a lot of fun when we're together. So yeah, one of the best people around. So, hey, Gene, I'm a bank fisherman and have been getting frustrated by losing lures. Are you writing down comments and stuff? Okay. Frustrated by losing lures. Any tips when you can't tell what's in the pond and maybe how to avoid getting snagged and losing lures? Use rigs and lures that are designed to be as snag free as possible. My number one is the Texas rig. Okay, just not a weightless Texas rig, a Texas rig with a bullet weight on the front, and I drag it around and hop it around and everything else, and you can bury that hook to where it's not going to get snagged as much. Then remember, as you're dragging it up and you feel like you're dragging it over a tree or anything and you feel it start to snag, don't pull hard backwards. Drop it to a slack line and just pop it tight again. And a lot of times that'll pop it right over top of what you're doing. The biggest mistake that beginners make is they instantly pull it tight and they try to pull it tight and shake it and it just buries that hook. So just feel it. So man, can you run upstairs and all next to my bed? Actually, go out in my truck. In the door of my truck is some antacids. I don't know why I've got heartburn. I haven't eaten anything that would give it to me. But anyway, woo. Yeah, it's out front. Joseph Keller, hey Fluke, when is a good time to change hooks and when fishing plastic baits? Usually what I do is the only time I ever change a hook is when I actually feel that it's dull, and I don't check it enough as often as I should. But another time is when I'm fishing braid, I check to make sure I don't bend that thing out, because braided line and stiff rods can bend out hooks on hook sets pretty easy. So I always am looking, and I don't like to flex it back because then you weaken the hook. I just take it off and tie a new one. Other than that, most of them, like the Owner or Mustad Ultra Points, those last a long time. And then Gamakatsu hooks, their sharpness, especially on those ones that I use all the time, which are the little G Finesse flipping hooks, they stay sharp for a long time. I broke one off the other day and I was like, man, I freaking fished that hook for a month and a half and not had to replace it. So Anyway, love it. And I'm not sponsored by them either. Let me think. Black Bass Angler. Thanks, girl. Thanks for the $10. I appreciate it. You're awesome. You're awesome. Let's see. Doug Stubbs, thanks for the $5. I will still love your show even after the dogs. Oh, I already read that one. Oh, here it is. It's down here. Thanks, man. Best ones on the planet right here.
Yeah, I guess for candy.
They're the chewable ones. I'll just take one as I drop it. Oh, goodness. Joshua, thanks for the $5. Says, oh, I have to thank you. I caught my PB this week while on orders in Charleston, South Carolina. 3.68 pounds. That's awesome. Not huge, but it's my starting point. Your advice is great. Yeah, dude, that's freaking sick. That is awesome. Congratulations. Yeah. Let's see. Is that the jackhammer worth $20? Which one?
Is the jackhammer?
Is the jackhammer worth $20? Yes.
Yeah.
No doubt. Yes, it's worth $20. I pay full price for mine. I go to the store and get them. How often should I clean my fishing poles? How should I clean my rods? I clean mine once a year, except for my frog rod. Well,
that one's
that's just always nasty.
Yeah.
But starting right now through the end of November, I'm going to be frog fishing in some slop, and that rod gets horribly nasty. The reel gets caked up and everything else. The best way to clean it is just with a wet washcloth, soapy wet washcloth, and just make sure you go hit every guide, and then just wipe it down. That's all you do. Don't be careful with the cork. Leave the cork dirty unless you have cork conditioner and filler, because once you start cleaning that cork, the filler that the company's put in it will fall out or will work its way out, and you'll have pitted cork, and you don't want to do that. So I leave the cork dirty, but I clean the rods and the guides, or the rod part and the guides and everything else, and the reel seat. So big tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. You want to see me puke? Let me take a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. On my keto diet, they always talked about drinking an apple cider vinegar drink. I can't do it. I'm nauseous for like an hour. Ugh. What rigs do you use to target suspended bass at 8 to 15 feet? If it's clear water, I'm using a fluke and getting them to come up to it. If it's muddy water and they're suspended, they're not going to bite. But if I've got a visibility of 3 to 4 or 5 feet, I'm going to throw a fluke or a jerk bait or something like that, but usually a fluke. Thomas Bell, any monthly winter updates?
The month just started, so
yeah, the month just started. I've got to send the gift cards to the winner. I think Thomas Bell may have been the one that won it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm waiting on my web guy. If you're the one that won it this last month, I'm waiting on my web guy to give me another code. Usually takes a week or two, and they're just pretty busy. Fish in Georgia, you should collab with Georgia Bassmasters and catch some grass carp. Georgia Bassmasters and catch grass carp.
I mean, I'll shoot grass carp.
Go top water.
Go fishing.
Let's see. Jay Waller. I have a deep lake with zero grass, tons of docks. Is that limiting my shallow fish in the summertime? They'll be under the docks. But the thing is that they'll be under the deeper docks, closer to the deepest water. But what I still flip and throw shaky heads around those docks if you can get there. But yeah, it's going to limit, but it's not going to eliminate it. If you're stuck on the bank, if you're bank fishing, then I would go and I'd pay attention to the wind the 2 or 3 days prior to you going fishing, and the wind direction will tell you where that wind's been blowing into, and any of those banks that the wind's been blowing into are going to have oxygenated water, and the bass are more than likely going to be shallower. than if it wasn't there. So, what is Jordan's personal best bass?
8 pounds. Caught in June this year.
Caught an 8-pounder in June this year.
Dragging a worm.
Yep. What have we been doing for the last 3.5 months?
Dragging a worm.
Dragging a worm. How many bags of
It's gotta be like 20.
Old monsters and what's the 13 one? The big squirm. We've gone through so many dang worms.
It's gotta be like 20 or 30 bags.
Do glide baits work all year? I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I only use glide baits when I am searching for fish, when I'm pre-fishing for tournaments. So I really wouldn't be able to tell you.
I have outfished them.
Yeah. Danny Davidson, I hope we get to meet you down at Nationals. We will hook you up with a couple tactical stickers. That's right, man. I got a little place on the back, the tailgate of my truck where I put stickers like that from guys. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, come on down. And then anybody whoever sees me, it ticks me off when I get a message and say, hey, I was here and here and I was too scared to come and say hi. Drives me nuts. I'm like, yeah, just come say hi. Tyler's Real Fishing. Tyler, what's going on, brother?
He's getting a jabberjaw.
Don't give him a jabberjaw. He's got enough jabberjaw. Gene has been skipping my comments and making me sad.
Oh my God.
Yep, I will skip your comments all day long. How would you fish 60-degree water in a super grassy lakes? William Stunt, thanks for the $5. Boy, I wish I had 60-degree water. Yeah, dude.
I wish I had grassy.
The outside edge and shallow. Right now we're fishing 85 to 90-degree water. It's nasty. And but yeah, super grassy lakes, always outside weed lines and 2 or 3, 4 foot in, unless you start seeing a lot of action further in. But 60 degrees, I'd give my right leg for 60-degree water right now. Would you talk a kayak angler out of getting a boat? Nope. No. I love my Lumacraft. I love my kayak. Each of them have their own strengths and weaknesses.
I love my kayak as soon as I got the motor.
Yep. Yep. Tyler, you're gonna make me go back and look for your other comments. I'm not. It's a waste of time. Dave, man, I have trouble rigging a shaky head that doesn't have the spring and keeping it straight. Do you have any videos showing rigging plastics in different hook styles? Yes, my last shaky head video, I went through that, the 2 different styles, and it doesn't have to be straight, not a shaky head. So, woo, Scobie 63, thanks for the $5, man. I appreciate it. It says, hey, Fluke, what's your crank anchor set up over trolley anchor on your yak? So I have an anchor trolley. I'm still trying to get the bugs out of it. It's the first time I've ever had an anchor trolley on my kayak. And then I have the anchor wizard to bring up the line and bring up the anchor. The reason I have an anchor trolley, there are times, even if I have the Motor Guide XI3, and even there are times when even a spot lock's not going to help me because of angles I want to cast. And so if I spot lock it, it's always got me facing right into the wind. Well, sometimes I don't want to. Sometimes I want to be facing this way so I can deep crank. So I use the anchor wizard and a trolley to position where that anchor is on my boat. So, but yeah, dude, I'm gonna do a video as soon as I get my my battery. I'm getting a Dakota lithium battery for my kayak. As soon as I get all that set up, I'm gonna do a full walkthrough of all the rigging and everything else, and explain why I have things in certain places in my kayak. So it ought to be pretty fun. Any recommendations for Chickamauga tomorrow? I haven't been to Chick in about a year, so I don't know. So I'm having withdrawals. Thomas Bell, what would be the best color in clear green shallow water on a hot morning? Have you picked the names yet?
I have them. I'm getting there. I'm working.
Okay. I don't see you writing anything down. What would be the best color in clear green shallow water on a hot summer morning? Buzzbait. I'm thinking a white buzzbait. Really. Early in the morning, no wind, I'd be throwing a buzzbait. If there's wind, a whopper, that's when a whopper plopper works. So Hey, Andy Leonard says you should do some seminars at the East Tennessee Fishing Show this next year. If they would ever contact me, I'd be glad to do them. I'm there every year.
Yeah.
So that'd be awesome, though. Swampland, thanks for the $5, man. He says, do you like Rapala Shad Wraps for fall winter transition? Yes, 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 and yes. Shad Wrap number 5s and number 6s. And what size would you recommend? I already told you. For area swamps. Also, I bought 600 yards of Sea Garden Vizex. Wow. That's awesome, man. He says, yeah, what size? I always 5s and 6s is what I throw. I don't have anything else. I lost an entire box of probably 30 5s one time, and I have no clue where it went. I hope somebody didn't steal it from me, but it just disappeared. So Hog Jaws Outdoors, weeks fishing. I've been having good luck on G with dragging big worms over eelgrass patches. That's how I caught them the other day. Definitely. And it's going to change between now and the national championship. It is going to change. So I'm basically, the next few weeks, I'm just going to be fishing and having fun and making videos for you guys. So I'm finally going to get back to making instructional videos. Now that he's in school, I can go do it on my own.
No, the one who gets the videos done.
Yeah, he edits them. So.
And makes you film them.
Yeah. What would you throw in a lake that has a very high bait fish to bass ratio? I mainly fish from the bank. Woo! Sounds like Oconee. Dude, I don't really, the thing is it doesn't change my thought process, even if it does have a lot of bait. I look for the part of the lake that has the most bait. I mean, that's when I'm having a hard time catching them. But typically, like, I'm saying Oconee because Lake Oconee used to be that way. It was bad. There were guys, professional guys, going out there at night and catching shad and putting them in these giant tanks and taking them to other lakes because Oconee had so many shad. But I would throw spinner baits a lot and crankbaits and just cover the bank as much as I could. And then once I got bit, I would slow down. But my train of thought doesn't change between any lakes, really. But big bait fish, I just kind of ignore and just go fishing. So tough. Scobie, thanks for the $5. Another $5. Thanks, man. He says, hey, Fluke, best time, season, and conditions for drop shot worms. I start about a month after the spawn, and I go all summer long until the fall transition. And then I get away from it. They can be good during the wintertime, but not great. So hook shot, I have not used a buzz jet. Evan Gary, hey, I've been fishing Cincos here in Louisiana for 2 to 3 weeks in chocolate brown water and have not gotten a bite. Never caught a bass on an artificial before. Any tips? Yes. If you got chocolate brown water, get away from baits that don't make any noise or don't have any vibration. So start throwing a spinner bait. Start throwing a crankbait. But a spinner bait's what I would do, especially if you're bank fishing. What else? A rattle trap, a buzz bait, anything that's got a lot of vibration or makes a lot of noise so they can find it. The biggest thing is bass, largemouth are sight feeders primarily. They will feed in muddy water using their lateral line because it senses vibration, but 9 times out of 10 they're sight feeders. But when you get into that chocolate brown water, you've got to use something that they can feel with their lateral line and hone in on. So what does the G on your hat stand for? Go Dogs. It's Georgia Bulldogs. So I've been a Bulldogs fan my entire life. Yep. So is Jordan. What would you throw in shallow weedy, or what would you throw in shallow weedy lakes from the bank? A Mojo rig's my favorite. I got a video about it. You can also, instead of, if you watch the Mojo rig video, it's on a spinning rod. It's a finesse style Carolina rig, kind of. You got a hook 6 inches above it. You either pinch on a split shot or you put a Mojo weight on it, which are really hard to find. You can find them at Tack Warehouse, but that's about it. Pinch it on, and then you're fishing a straight tail worm, just dragging it across the grass. And whenever I'm faced with any kind of submerged grass, I always have one close. especially in tournaments. So, all right, I'm gonna jump ahead because I know I'm way behind in comments. See, Ethan Tang, what's going on, man? He says, if you are bank fishing in dirty neighborhoods, lakes, would you use a whopper plopper or buzzbait for barren banks with some rock? A buzzbait. I'm sorry, a buzzbait. It also has some wood that is less than 6 inches under the water. Definitely a buzzbait because it's less likely to get hung. I remember the first time I ever fished a whopper plopper. It came in a mystery tackle box. I was bank fishing, and on the fourth cast, I got it caught in a little tree that was just under the surface, and I didn't have any way to get it, so I had to go out there and get it. And I got into about up to here in water to get it. So, because I was doing one of my challenges. Was it the Stratford video? I can't remember. Or in the Stratford one. Game time, is spinnerbait good for fall? Yes. When the fall transition happens, which is what my next few videos are going to be on. Fall transition happens, the bass start to key in on bait fish. They go from feeding on stuff on the bottom and staying tight to cover to chasing bait. And so a spinnerbait, any kind of moving bait, a square bill crankbait, gosh, I mean, the list goes on. But that's what I'd be throwing, is just moving baits until I found them, and I might mop them up with like a jig or a worm or something after I've caught a few. So fluke works great in the fall transition. So doves are gonna go extinct with no college football tomorrow. I was talking about that earlier. I was like, this is the first dove season where I'm not gonna be playing the Georgia game while we're shooting. It's crazy, but sad. Yeah. So we went and saw this new place we're hunting tomorrow morning. Gosh. And before we stopped the truck, we saw 200 birds. It's going to be crazy. I hope it's crazy.
Can you say Argentina?
Yeah. And we got out of the truck and saw a couple hundred more. Yeah. So we're going to have fun tomorrow. I never have luck with crankbaits. What should I start with? What do you think? Spinnerbait. Yeah. A small spinnerbait would be what I would start with. But as in crankbaits, square bills, that's where I started. It wasn't long ago. It was before YouTube, before YouTube even existed. But I was having a hard time with crankbaits. I couldn't get them, and I was on Bass Resource, the forum, and I read an article, and there was a guy on there that was really good with crane, and I just went out with a square bill and started beating the snot out of rock and riprap and everything I could find to bang it into, until I started catching fish, and then a light bulb went off. I figured it out slowly, and I got more and more confidence in it. I caught 4 today on a crankbait, deep cranking, but to start, always start with a square bill. Yeah. What favorite bait to throw in dirty water in the late afternoon in hot water? I've already answered that one. I don't think so. I don't think so. No. Favorite. Late afternoon. I'm dragging something. Dragging a worm. I've been dragging a worm doing that, and my bite really never starts until 1 o'clock. In dirty water. Yep. So probably silverworm. What seasons do I like to throw lipless crankbaits? Pre-spawn and fall are the two times I'm throwing lipless crankbaits. Yeah. You can catch them other times, but man, I freaking love them during those two times. So let's see. What'd you read? That's Steven Rogers. Monday's forecast for 90s. Tuesday snow. Monday is forecast for 90s. Tuesday snow. Like Georgia weather. Any ideas how to account for fishing Wednesday? Oh my gosh! I don't think the Tuesday snow will mess them up too much. Yeah. It might push them shallow, but yeah, I remember I was trout fishing when I was a teenager at Henry's Fork, Idaho, and we got there, and the first 2 days was snowing. I had to borrow a coat. It was in June, opening of trout season. I had to borrow a coat to be able to survive the snow, and then the following day it was 85 degrees. And everything hatched, and every fly we threw at those trout worked. So, but definitely, yeah, I don't think it'll work. I don't think it'll mess them up too much. It'll just probably move them shallow. So, and they might get active. Scobie asked me another question. I got to find it. Here it is. Hey, Fluke, is there ever a good time to put lure right on braid, or do you always recommend floral leader? Thanks for the $5, by the way. I would, the time I use full braid is when I'm punching into thick vegetation. I have a heavy rod, 65-pound braid. When I'm throwing a frog in heavy vegetation, and in top water, anything around heavy cover, where it really doesn't make a difference whether they see the line or not. And then other than that, I'm putting a leader on. So we got 15 more minutes.
I got something to pick out. I only have
okay.
4. I need 2 more.
Yep. William Stunts, thanks for the $5. He says, what kind of baits would you be focusing on in, say, 60-degree water? Thanks for the great content. Caught my PB this year. Thanks to you. 18-inch smallie. Wow. That's awesome, man. What baits would you be focused on, say, 60-degree water? Moving baits, mainly crankbaits. And when it gets to 60 degrees, especially in the fall transition, like I said earlier, they get keyed in on bait. And so you can go back to throwing a jerk bait, spinner bait, shad wrap number 5 in natural shad. I think that's what the color is. Chrome with a black back. That's my main go-to bait. Hard to cast on a bait caster, but throw it on a spinning rod and you can have fun. So let's see. And thanks for the $5, man. I appreciate it. Justin Hawks, question on cranks. I follow Fish the Moment, and one of the pros he fishes with makes it sound like when water clarity gets more than a couple weeks, crankbaits are not very effective. Or a couple feet probably is what you meant to say. I fish generally very clear water with 8+ feet of water clarity. What is my best alternative? Typically, if I want to throw crankbaits in super clear water, I'm using clear crankbaits, as clear as I can get them. Your options, and he's right, and I think I know the pro he's fishing with. But anyway, so typically, if I'm going to throw crankbait, I'm going to throw clear. If I'm going to throw top water, I'm going to throw clear. But I'll go with like erratic baits, like a jerk bait or a fluke, especially a fluke in clear water with fluorocarbon line and everything else. You should do pretty good. But he's right about crankbaits. When you get that super clear water, they're very hard to use unless you're fishing really deep. So yeah, that's a good question, man. That one made me think. Goodness. Josh, thanks for the $5. Happy Friday, Gene. How much do we have to donate to get you to be in Tyler's next parody video? Have a great long weekend. You don't have to donate nothing. All he's got to do is ask. And I would love to be in his next parody video. That boy can sing. Can't rap, but he can sing.
He should rap.
I'll tell you what sucked about COVID this year. I was supposed to sing the national anthem at a Rome Braves game this year, and I was not able to do it. They canceled it. So maybe next year. So Joseph Keller, thanks for the $5. If you lived in South Georgia, what lake would you fish more often than others? What's that public fishing area down there? I cannot remember. There's 2 public fishing areas down. I can't remember the names, but those are the 2 I would be fishing because I know the managers. I know the biologist that works down there. And he really wants to grow big fish, and he's doing a really good job of it. So that's what I would look at. Thanks for the $5, man. I appreciate it. Weeks. Oops, I missed it. Weeks Fishing says, do you use a Tokyo rig? Yes, I do. I feel I got caught in the grass a lot. Is it better for fishing rocky bottom or hard bottom? I fish grass with it. And maybe how you're hooking it, or like the VMC Tokyo rig that's out has like 6 or 7 different hooks now. Some would be good in grass, some wouldn't. But the best thing is your bait, how you hook it, and make sure you bury that hook. And if it gets stuck in the grass, just pop it free and you're still fishing it. If you're punching grass, if you're going down into grass and you're getting hung on the bottom, there's probably no fish in there because it's probably really, really thick. So outside edges of grass and sparse grass, and then grass as canopies is where I fish it. Boy, I hope that made sense. I feel like I was all over the place with it. So, but thanks, man. Thanks for the $5. Or no, you didn't give me $5. I thought. Thanks for the question. Woo! All right, we got 10 minutes. You got all the comments?
I'm picking
all right, he's gonna pick one more. Black bass angler. I want to hear Gene sing. Nah. Not right now. By the end of these things, my throat's so dry. Yeah. But yeah, I sing. I'm a baritone bass tenor on a good day. When I was young, I took voice lessons, and I was a soprano when I was in 7th grade. First chair soprano, and was proud of it. And but I instantly went to a bass. So, but I love to sing. One of my favorite things, and play the guitar. Jordan is a really good guitar player. What is the best topwater lures for dirty neighborhood lakes that has barren banks and a few rocks? It also has wood. If it's a buzzbait, skirt or no skirt. Always no skirt on a buzzbait. Throw on a soft plastic like a horny toad or a grub or something like that. But best topwater. Buzzbait's fine. I love a frog, dude. They really work right along the bank. They'll work really good, especially if you got cover. You don't have to have grass to fish a frog, especially early in the morning. But hold on tight, man. That's going to be a crazy bite. Bryce Richardson, I have not fished upstate New York. My bucket list is the Finger Lakes. I want to fish the Finger Lakes really bad. When I get up there one day, I'll fish them. So Roger E, thanks for the $5. He says, thanks for all the great content. Got me fishing again after 15 plus years. Any tips for South Florida bass fishing with all the heat and humidity here? That's the reason I didn't go down and fish Fellsmere when it opens, because it was stinking hot. But when I talk to guys that are new down in Florida and new fishing, there's two colors of soft plastics, and Florida is everything soft plastic. Sinkos, more Sinkos, or stick baits, whatever you want to call them. But black and blue and June bug are the two main colors down in Florida. I don't know what it is about those and that Florida water with all that grass, but I have a box called Florida Plastics, and it's full of black and blue and June bug plastics. And that's all I take, and I take some swim baits. But this time of the year, I'd be throwing a Senko around whatever current I could find, and you'll catch some. So Jordan is way better looking. They are really trying to get that last comment.
It's not working, guys, I promise.
Yep. Bryce Stanton, what's good? Lucas Gardner, I have many questions, and I bet you get a lot of private messages on fishing tips. What's the fastest way other than this stream to message and mail? Instagram. Facebook is really hard. I try to stay up with it, but the app that we manage our pages, the page management app, sucks. It is so hard to get into the comments and work with it. It's the most user unfriendly thing Facebook has. But yeah, definitely Instagram is probably the best for sure. It's easier to check for me. Thomas Oakley, can you only fish topwater extremely early in the morning? You can fish topwater whenever you notice a lot of surface action, whether it be bait fish, whether it be bass or whatever. If the bait fish are up shallow, ticking the surface, the bass are going to be up shallow, and you can fish topwater. Clarks Hill Lake is a lake that has, instead of just shad, they also have blueback herring, which stay shallow on sunny days, and the best topwater is in the middle of the day on sunny bluebird skies with about 10-mile-an-hour winds. Most lakes are not that way. Most other lakes are, you just pay attention to the signs, and whenever you see a lot of action shallow, that's when you jump on the topwater. So, and it doesn't matter what time of the day it is. Oh, my brother David Fields. What's going on, man? Thanks for the $50, man. Welcome, welcome. You almost missed it. He says, "What's up, homie? I'm late to the party. Sorry to come on down to the hill. Sorry, come on down to the hill and have a heat stroke with me." Oh, Damien was out fishing with me today on Rocky Mountain, and he was like, "Dude, I can't stand to watch you fish. I fish in a hoodie, one of those sun hoodies, long sleeves, long pants. I don't get sunburned." He's like, "How do you do it?" I said, "I drink about a gallon of water, and I'm fine." But I don't like wearing sunscreen, so I always keep myself covered. But dude, I'd love to get down there, just not right now. Oh
gosh, we got 5 minutes.
When is Jordan starting his own apparel logo?
Why did I say that? I don't know.
Have you ever fished the Pacific Ocean, Southern California? I have not. I have not.
We can make a little snag shirt.
Let's see. Did you fish Gunnersville last week? How'd you do? I did not this past week. I've got a few tournaments going on right now. I've got the KBF State Challenge tournament, which is the first 21 days of the month, and I have to win that. I'm actually making a video about it. I have to come in first. If I come in second, I tie for the points lead for Angler of the Year for Georgia, and I have to have a fish off with somebody. If I win it outright, and I max out my points going into the championship. And so if I can max out my points going to the championship, I'll be tied for the lead with about 20 people. And then if I beat out all 20 of those people, I get Angler of the Year. So that's what I'm hoping for. But I have to win this month, and that's why I've been picking on Damien so much during this live deal. It's because he's in second place. And I've already told him, I said, "Dude, I'm sandbagging. I'm not going to enter all my fish." And so it's driving him nuts, and it's great. Like I told you guys earlier, I am a trash talker, but I'm being honest with him. I'm not going to enter all my fish. I don't want anybody to know what I've got until the end of the tournament. So any tips on fishing small ponds with few bass? It's a public park pond. Ooh. Go small and go light line. So like 6-pound test fluorocarbon, a Ned rig. Watch every video on YouTube about a Ned rig and go out and fish it, and you'll catch fish. That thing catches everything. I've caught crappie, bluegill, catfish, walleye. I've caught tons of different types of fish, but I've caught a ton of bass with it. So, all right. So you got me some people figured out. Now, if he picks somebody and you are no longer on here and you don't get this, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yep. But as soon as we get off of here, the guys who win these go on Facebook, my Facebook page, or my my Instagram page, and leave me your address so I can get 13 to ship you some Jabberjaws. Let me get it to focus. There we go. This camera has a horrible time. Yeah. So basically, what it is for you guys who are just joining us, it is a square bill crankbait that has no rattles on the inside. The rattle is the bill that goes back and forth and hits a little metal plate that's inside there. And it sounds just like a chatterbait.
It's a chattercrank.
And literally the third cast I ever made one of these things, I caught a fish. It's crazy. So we got 6 of them we're giving away. Yep. And I'm going to go ahead and name the six people who win it. And Hogjaws Outdoors is one of them. The next one is Tad Myers. The next one is Kenyatta Bush. Evan Gary. William Stuntz. And the last one is David Carlson. Have I ever fished with Black Tip H? I have. Once. When he was before he even had 100,000 subscribers. Yep. So I have. But yeah, congratulations, you guys. You get a Jabberjaw, which are very hard to find right now. And I will get there as soon as I have everybody's address. I'll start sending them to 13 and get them to ship it to you. So, but I appreciate everybody. Thank you for your questions. Don't forget to enter my Stuck on Fluke giveaway, which is go to my website, buy a sticker, stick it on something, put it on Instagram, hashtag stuck on fluke, and tag me. And we pick a winner at the end of the month for a $50 Tackle Warehouse gift card and a $50 gift card to my website. And then in May, we choose a winner from the winners to go fishing with me. So it ought to be a lot of fun. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to get off of here, go save my voice, maybe watch a little Call of Duty before I go upstairs. But like I always say, be sure to introduce somebody to fishing. Introduce them to my channel. Let me help you teach them how to fish. More importantly, get out on the water. Go ahead and catch some fish and have a great day. We'll see you.